You can't put me on the spot like that. It's 5 a.m.
I'm DJ Psyched, and you're watching the Get Psyched YouTube channel. Let's get psyched about YouTube.
You're listening to the Get Psyched Podcast. I'm DJ Psyched, and we're going to talk about John Dies at the End, because we're both reading it right now, and we just got past the first part, so we both finished Vegas, and we're halfway through this book. Ella, I want you to give me your thoughts on J-Date so far.
I think it's really good, and I don't know, it starts out completely not how I thought it was gonna go. Yeah, like I thought it was gonna be like some ghost hunters. So then he's talking to the reporter, and so I know it's something probably bigger than just normal like ghost hunter shit. Just the way that he's like thinking about everything. Yeah, it's crazy. It's a good ass book. I like it a lot. Who's your favorite character?
Wow, that was a hard question you just threw at me. I'm going to say who my favorite character is so far and kind of not be biased based off of what I know later on. I actually really, really like Dave, the main character. I don't know, I kind of feel like I relate to Dave and like he's just over John's bullshit. He's trying to be kind of normal, but at the same time, I really vibe with John. Like John is really stupid and he does like so many stupid things, but I like his attitude. Like he's just like, whatever, like I do me. I really like John and Dave. Like I think that they're amazing main characters.
They're both so funny.
Part of what makes this story so great is that both the main characters, they're very different, but their dynamic works so well. So it keeps it really interesting, you know, because it's not like John's the one who does like all the drugs and the drinking and the crazy stories, and he's kind of like the cooler friend sort of, and then Dave is kind of the more serious, like I need to make it to work type guy, but he still has like a side of him that can be kind of like John at times.
Yeah. And John, I don't know too much yet, but John freaked me the fuck out when he said he would try soy sauce again, because that stuff freaks me out. I mean, it's fucking cool, but the uncertainty of like what the hell is going to happen when they're on it, it was what freaks me out. Like, I don't know. It's weird because I just get so confused. Like when Dave first was on it, I was just really confused as to what was happening.
Yeah, you'll just have to learn more as you continue reading. But I think really interesting about the first book, like you said before, about the opening kind of being like misleading. I think that there's just so much that unfolds in this first book that I think that it's kind of like, even to where you've read now, I feel like you have a very small portion of the story figured out. And I think what I really like is that there's like literally 3 openings to this book, because there's that first part with the riddle about the axe man. If the man, you know, the axe or whatever, he's like, is it the same axe? Yeah. So there's that whole riddle part that kind of seems like the opening, but then we jump into them going into that girl's house, which kind of seems like the opening, but then the true opening starts when the interview starts. And so it's like kind of bamboozled around, and it's kind of like you're trying to figure out how these things work together.
And not the order in which stuff happened, but like kind of the order in which stuff happened. Because like, I mean, I guess it all happened like chronologically, but when they're on their shit, when they're on the soy sauce, then it's like it's not in order. You know what I'm saying? Because like when Dave, the only part I can think of is like off the top of my head is when Dave first took the soy sauce and then he went back to that factory place and then he like said hey or something to that guy, and then he turns around and he doesn't see him because he can't see Dave, and then you find out like years later that that moment was the time where they like messed up a bullet, and that bullet happened to be the bullet that was in the gun of the guy who was about to shoot Dave. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the crazier moments. And I think that and like the whole theme of time in this book is just really interesting. You know, like how when John first goes on the sauce and he's like, you're going to be getting calls from me for like the next 8 years.
Yeah.
Like they say like time is like fluid. It's like time is an ocean, man. That's what the guy says. I don't know, the way that they use time so fluidly, to them it's like it just happened, but in like the reality, which like is it really, I don't know, things move in normal speed, so it's confusing, you know.
Yeah, and then also it is a bit confusing what is real and what's fake, even though like everything is real, because like they can still be hurt by like whatever it is like making them see things. I still don't know. I think it's aliens.
I'm not going to spoil anything, but I'm just going to ask you this question because I'm curious. Did you pick up on anything from the Vegas scene that's giving you any hints as to what's happening? Because they did kind of mention something really important in the Vegas scene, but like you could have easily read over it.
I mean, not that it's like a portal to hell, not that.
It has to do with that, but I mean, I don't know if you would have picked up on the specifics.
I don't think so, no.
You'll figure it out soon enough. I think it's literally in this book. Like we're like a few pages from learning about it, but I thought that was kind of cool because like since I've read this before, I probably didn't notice it the first time either, but they do kind of mention something really important in that scene. It's just kind of so briefly mentioned that if you don't really know what it means because you don't know how relevant it is, you just be like, whatever.
Like the whole Todd thing.
So that's another interesting thing that happened. Yeah, not what I'm talking about, but yeah, the Todd thing was so fucking like, that's crazy. We don't even know who Todd is because he doesn't know who Todd is, but we know that Todd should have existed.
Yeah, like the fucking creatures and shit, the way that they describe certain things is just so vivid to me. I don't know why. It's like so good, so fun to read.
It really plays like a picture in your head. I love that they call them the wig monsters too. Almost as funny as them calling Justin shitload, just because there was a shitload of those things in him.
Wasn't it? Because no, that's not why they called him shitload. It was because when like they were introducing themselves to each other or something, when Justin was about to when Justin was about to like capture Dave was like, "What should I call you?" And then Justin said shitload because I'm gonna have a shitload of you guys stuffed in this truck.
Is that what he said?
Yeah.
I always read it, like literally both times that I've read it as because he has a shitload of those things inside of him.
I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he said it was because there's going to be a shitload
Now
of...
we have to read through this. Answer in the comments below if you know why his name is Shitload.
But it was funny that he kept calling him shitload.
That was crazy. I mean, I love that his name was Shitload. But I think that was just about everything that's happened so far, right?
Yeah, that cop. Oh my god, when his eyeballs exploded, that actually scared me. Like, I was like reading. I jumped. I was like, oh my god.
What was that other kid's name? I can't remember it, but the one that got killed right after that.
Fred Chu.
Yeah, Fred. Yo, I love that they actually did the whole like mystery of Fred. Like they lived up to his last wish. The mystery, like people thought that he was haunting the town, and John really did that for him.
Yeah, of course John would. Even the way that they said when they were all like going around saying like, you know, if I die this, if I die that. Right after Fred said it, I remember they said like John, he was like nodding, like he was like listening intently to like these instructions that Fred was giving. Thanks for listening. I'm Miss Psych.
Until next time.
Stay psych about reading. Let's get psyched about reading.
We'll update once we finish this book. But the halfway point. Oh, we didn't mention the most important character.
J-Lo?
Molly.
Oh.
Why?
What? I was. Yeah.
Molly is definitely like a big character in this story and becomes a really stays like a really relevant character all throughout this series. So like Molly's role can get overlooked a lot just because like Molly's not in every scene, but in every scene that Molly's in, Molly makes a huge impact.
Yeah, she saved Dave's life. She drove his car.
Technically speaking, John did that through Molly's body, but there is still proof that Molly is intelligent.
Yeah, because she I like her a lot. She's my favorite. But the fucking scene where they fucking get her with the soy sauce, I'm never reading again.
Yeah, that was unfortunate.
Like, I know what page number it is. So if I ever read the book again, I'm going to skip it.
Why did you say Jennifer Lopez was the best character?
I just think it's so funny that they named somebody, like, I don't know. It's really funny to me. I don't think that. I was just kidding.
I can't wait for you to get further in the story because some of the main characters switch around a bit and it's pretty interesting. What are your predictions? That's my last question on this. What are your predictions for the rest of this book?
I have absolutely no predictions. Like, this book is a roller coaster. I have no idea what the hell is gonna happen. For all I know, John and Dave could get married. Like, I don't fucking know.
What direction do you think it's heading in?
I honestly don't know. I think maybe they'll find. I mean, they have to somehow like get hands on like a supply, right, of the soy sauce, because Dave had soy sauce in the interview. I'm
Yeah,
normally good at predicting things, but I don't know. Molly better stay alive. That's all I'm saying. Just tell me that she stays alive.
I can't spoil anything for you. I cannot confirm nor deny such a statement.
Does one of the people who went to Vegas with them end up being like, who's like behind it basically? Who's a part of it? Whatever the hell is happening, I don't know. Like I don't
This story
know.
is way bigger than you're imagining. There's definitely not a person behind it.
So it is like the portal to hell.
Not exactly. It's so confusing. Even if I wanted to spoil this story for you, I'm not sure I could.
So confusing, but in the best way.
Yeah. And it gets like, it's good now, but I promise you that once you finish this book, you're immediately going to go on some website and buy the other two because you're going to really want to know what happens. And you're going to blaze through those as well. And also, if I have a job by then, I'm going to purchase the 2 books too and blaze through them as well. That's the end of our 6 a.m. podcast on J-Day. Hope you enjoyed listening to us ramble about the series. That's all I've got to say. You have anything else to say?
Thanks for listening. I'm Miss Psyched.
Until next time.
Stay psyched about reading. Let's get psyched about reading.